Welcome to the first Vibes and Frequencies behind the scenes vlog. Going to be launching one of these every single week from now on. Special thank you to our YouTube channel members and patrons on Patreon. You are the ones who will have access to these videos. And I'm deeply grateful for your support of this journey. You are the backbone of the ability for me to make these videos and spend the time necessary that is relevant to my soul's path to be here now in this moment, expressing the sorts of things that I do. Thank you. It really wouldn't be possible if it were not for you. So I look forward to doing much behind the scenes content. I'm going to be showing all sorts of things, what it's like traveling, the places that I'm going to, certain things that I'm going through that aren't things that I would share on YouTube regularly. Hence, behind the scenes. So right now, I'm at a place called Secret Beach in Oregon, near what's called the Chetco River. And it's very cool. It's very beautiful. Let me show you. Da, 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 da. It actually reminds me very much here of Costa Rica. When I went to Costa Rica a few years ago, it's very similar. The difference is it's cold and overcast here, and in Costa Rica, it's warm and rainy. That's the big major difference. One of the things I like a lot about it here is the nature. See, you got really cool mountains and it's trees, and you've got the coast of the ocean too. And you've got a lot of rivers actually that all go to the ocean, which I think is really cool. And I've been considering a lot lately, you know, there is that saying, it's also true, all rivers lead to the ocean. I think that's true. And we all lead to the same place too. The infinite ocean of source, spirit, God, the universe expressing itself. It's like each one of us is our own expression of water moving through the land, life, reality. And we all are what we are. Check out this river. See, so this is a great example. It comes, it goes, follows that path out to the ocean there. Cool, huh? Yeah, I like it here. So as you guys probably know, I was making some videos for a while where I was talking about my soul calling me to leave Mount Shasta. And I say it's my soul because I think that's the term most people would be able to relate to. But really it's just spirit moving through me, just like it does through everyone. The same spirit, all of us. I think when we get caught up in different souls, we're really just caught up in more of our own ego stories of attachment and I'm not this human self, but now I'm this higher self. But the deepest dimensions I've accessed within myself so far allude to the fact and illuminate the fact that there's really no separation between us. We are all the same soul expressing itself, literally. We're all the same spirit. Maybe you're a drop of water over there in that part, and I'm a drop of water here, you know, in this river thing. But we're the same water, the same ocean expressing itself. But you guys already know that. Some more behind the scenes stuff that I'm going to share in the next video I post next week. It's going to be showing you my car, how I've got it built out to camp out of. If you guys have ever heard of van life, basically I'm doing car life. So I'm going to be showing that. There's some other things I'm going to share too. All sorts of things about my personal life, like I said, that I don't usually share. But this is kind of like the intro video, so I'm going to be more casual here. These are going to be very casual, right? Of course, of course. But yeah, I finally trusted and I left Mount Shasta, as you can obviously see by this video and what's going on. And it was hard, honestly, because I have so many friends and family and connections with the land there. But Spirit's like, it's time, you know? I feel like that mountain, which maybe you know this or not, I don't know, Mount Shasta is known as the root chakra of Earth. I would not disagree with this. But I've anchored that in, you know? I've spent years there. My root chakra, you know, Mount Shasta is in me. So now anywhere I go, Mount Shasta comes with me. I don't need the mountain anymore. It's integrated, you know? It's kind of like how I am also a walking Moldavite, because I spent so much intimate time with Moldavite that now it's just part of my frequency. So I travel around and I, you know, activate places, get new activations, whatever, however people would want to express that. And this is where I was guided to come to. I've been spending a lot of time just being, you know. I wouldn't even call it meditation, because meditation is generally something people think is something you're doing, an action you're taking to tap into something. I haven't been trying to tap into anything or focusing on any sort of, intentions. Just vibing, you know, just being and letting Spirit move and work through me. But there's also been a lot of emotions I've been processing, some grief, you know, feeling certain things and having a lot of realizations. And I honestly I miss Ruby sometimes, you know. If you don't know who that is, it's my ex-fiance. I miss her sometimes, you know. We went on a lot of journeys together, and we shared a lot, you know. We lived with each other for a few years. Lived with each other all the time, ran an entire business together. We're with each other 24/7. So, you know, I miss her sometimes, and you know, I've been feeling that, but I've been maintaining my awareness of presence and seeing it, and seeing here now in this moment, and not getting caught up in what my false self, my ego self, wants to tell me that I've lost, because I haven't really lost anything, you know. She's in me right now, just like the mountain is, just like the Moldavite is. I'm never separate from any of it. It's just part of the story we tell ourselves that hurts us, that something's gone. But nothing's ever gone, it's just transformed. And nothing's ever destroyed, it's just reborn, you know? So things are shifting and changing a lot. And, you know, I've heard people talking about stuff going on the news and all this crazy stuff going on in the world. And some of it's kind of like shocking. So I've been tuning into my, you know, inner presence and just channeling love to everybody, and blessings, and holding the space that everything is going to be better than it's ever been, that this is just a new transformation. You know, it doesn't have to go dark, it doesn't have to go horrible, but that's a frequency that we anchor in. So that's actually some of the stuff that I'm talking about in some of my recent videos that are coming up now that I'm in this new land. Some things coming through, very relevant to the collective. And yeah, I mean, I like being alone, because when I'm alone, I'm not alone. I tap into something. I'm everywhere. So I'm not alone. But it does feel nice to share this and feel like someone's here with me. There's a lot of things I can share. Talk about my favorite music, my favorite movies, my favorite food, how I feel about certain topics, or, hey, what's that crystal you're wearing, Nathan? Oh, this? This is a headband that I glued. Wow, that's really not picking that up well. Oh well. I glued phenakite. There's a bunch of Burmese phenokites glued all over this. It's originally a headband, but my crown chakra is so open, it just feels better right here, you know. It's a cool piece, a frequency tool I've been using. I'll talk about stuff like that in these videos. This is really just the first intro and the behind the scenes, you know? I'm here, I'm processing a lot of energy, a lot of emotions, realizing a lot of things, and letting go, not holding on to any of my realizations, so that the moment can just continue to express itself. Releasing identity, dropping the mask, not picking up a new one, just being. And you know, the place that I'm camping, it's like 30 minutes away from here. I'll show that place to you guys in the next week's vlog. I'll show you my car, I'll introduce you to my dogs, I'll show you my setup, kind of like the food I eat, my morning routine, stuff like that. But for now, I'll tell you, it's extremely far out there, and there's no service. Like, you have to drive 25 minutes just to touch the worst phone service ever. I can't stream anything, you know, nothing's working. I'm completely out here alone, and that is really setting in. Like, that's really setting in right now. How do I explain what I mean by it's setting in? Well, I came out here because I knew it was time to be alone for a while. How long is a while? I don't know. A week, a few months, a few years. I don't know. I'm not planning it. I just know that Spirit wants me to basically sit here and merge completely with infinite boundlessness, that there's no separation. There's a voice that speaks through me sometimes. You've heard it. You know the difference. You can feel it when it's unfiltered and fully present and pure. That voice, the voice of the universe, that's what I'm here over the next few weeks or months or however to integrate. But I have to fully let go of myself. That's what I'm doing here. And it's scary. It's honestly terrifying. Because when you become nothing, there's nothing to hold on to, and there's no one to hold on to anything anyways. It's like an infinite free fall with no end. And I watch my ego spaz out and try to grab a song lyric to loop over and over again in my mind. Oh, that infinite boundlessness is too big. Let's loop this song lyric over and over again. Or let's think about, you know, past relationships, or the funniest one that happens in me is, let's make a video. I'm starting to see how even that is a trick of my own falseness, pulling me back into being someone. There are videos that are made, and I am not the one making them. They just happen, like a lightning strike from the sky. Energy arrives, and it just is. I have nothing to do with it. It's just the moment speaking to itself. That's the pureness. That's the dissolving into the moment. It's what I'm doing here. But it's not something I'm doing. It's something I'm just letting happen. Because I've come to find, I know I'm saying a lot to you right now, but it's nice to be able to have a conversation like, you're my friend and you're here, you know. It's actually a cool format. I like it. It's like, before I came into this world, I dropped a rock. Just dropped it. And now my entire life is the rock falling. But see, when you drop a rock from up here, it already knows exactly where it's going to land on the ground, because that decision was made the second it was released. So it's like Spirit dropped a rock, and I am that rock falling, experiencing my life unfold. But the destination's already decided. Time is just an illusion. The linearness of things is false. The future is folded in on itself into the present moment. There's no past, there's no future. In many of these moments I'm experiencing, and I can see and I remember and I feel exactly where Spirit has dropped the rock that I am and where I'm about to land. And so this part of my journey I'm on, it's like, you know, my life, and now I'm here, right? And this is where I am. But see, so many people spend their life trying to move the rock, push it in a different direction, or try to control it. Me, I'm just like, just get out of the way, you know? I can see the future. There's not a crowd of people standing there where the rock is going to fall. I don't have to scream at everybody, you know, timber, or whatever they say. Watch out! You know, where Spirit is dropping my rock doesn't hurt anybody. It actually blesses a lot of lives. But it takes a lot of courage for me to let go of certain things that are things that a lot of people do in their lives because they're fun and it reinforces your idea of yourself, and that's an enjoyable experience. But that's not the rock that has been dropped by Spirit that I am. It's not my path. And my path isn't always easy, to be honest. It's a lot. But I don't have to carry any of it. I just let the rock drop, you know? Trying to resist everything or change the direction of the stone equals massive suffering. Stepping out of the way and just letting Spirit do its thing through me and just let my life unfold. There's something about it. So, that's the behind the scenes right now. The videos that I make, maybe this will be interesting to somebody. I already do have an idea that's come to me about making a behind the scenes making of these Vibes and Frequencies videos, like how that moment comes about, how I do it, what's the process that leads to it, what's it feel like. So I don't want to get too into it now because I'm excited to make a whole episode out of that for channel members and patrons, which once again, thank you guys so much for supporting the content that we make. Like, thank you. Very much appreciate it. Infinite spiritual being, absolutely. Still has a car payment to make and food to eat that is necessary, and dogs to feed also. Absolutely also true simultaneously. So thank you for being aware of that and caring to support the creators you love. Very much appreciate it. But like, I just made a video here in this spot, and I also made a video up on that cliff. But just a brief, like, hint at like what they are. I don't know. I literally have no idea what I'm saying because there's no one, I'll explain this more in the future content. There's no one making the video. There's no self recording it or thinking about what to say. It's literally like lightning strikes. And at the end of it, you're just kind of like, whoa. Sometimes my hair's a little bit frizzed. I feel kind of like this after. I'm like, whoa, like that energy just jolted through me. So I don't know what I said, but I feel, it's not even a feeling. I'm not tethered to my body. I don't know. I couldn't explain it. But I feel it right now, even still. That to me is one of the greatest signs that I made a quote-unquote good video that did not come from my ego. The boundlessness that I feel after, the peace, you might say. Like I am an unstoppable force, and you better watch out. You better not stand in the way of the rock that's been dropped, because it's a big one. There's nothing and no one or no crane that you could get to push this rock out of the way. You cannot stop Spirit. It's too powerful. Nothing can stop this from happening now. That's why I'm not even interested in trying to stop it or steer it. Something's shifted, something's changing, as is always the way that it is. I'm here now in a new place, adjusting to the new frequency, letting go of my routines from Mount Shasta, having had said goodbye to family and friends, and had a lot of people very hurt and confused and angry. I even had a kind of interesting conversation with my parents where it was like fully acknowledged out loud. Hey, you guys love me, but you don't like me. Let's just be real. You love me, but you don't like me. No one argued with it. It was like, wow, we're really saying this out loud. Yeah, I don't like hiding or pretending anymore, so when I feel something is happening, I speak about it. And it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But I want to make it clear, I love my family very much, and they're not bad people. You may enjoy tuning into me for, 10 to 15 minutes, 3 times a week if you're like a mega fan. But let's be honest, you're not a fan. You know that you're the one making these videos, and I'm just the vessel they come through. You already know you're the one doing it. But But the fact of the matter is that the frequency that I hold is deeply uncomfortable to people to be around for long periods of time. Imagine living with me or having to be around me all the time. You would feel like you can't, sit down and binge eat food and watch a TV show, right? You'd feel kind of on high alert, and that freaks people out. It's not that I'm judging anyone. I'm not judging my family, but they don't feel like they can be comfortable around me. So I had some kind of emotional conversations before I left, and people are confused about my life path and think that I'm fairly extreme, but I'm not extreme. I just am what I am, My dad, upon leaving, was kind of trying to convince me, walk the middle path, Nathan. You're too extreme, walk the middle path. And I'm like, there is no higher or lower path, so how could there be a middle path? I don't believe in the middle path. I believe I am what I am. I am. And I'm going to be who I am authentically, whether it bothers anybody. Because, I'm not like running around with weapons and stabbing people or hurting people or like trying to mess with people. I'm just being who I am. And that frequency transforms the entire space that I'm in everywhere I go. Some people are absolutely repulsed by it and get up and leave the second I enter a room. They just can't sit in this frequency. Other people like try to follow me and figure out what trails I'm on and are like constantly like trying to casually end up exactly where I am. I wouldn't call them stalkers, but I'm very aware of it. But I just am who I am. And so are you. And I don't have some super high opinion of myself. And I also don't have a low opinion of myself. I don't have an opinion because there's no self here to have an opinion about. I'm just a voice that's speaking. I'm just a life that's being lived. I'm just a river flowing into the ocean, just like everybody else. I think I just worry a lot less about what other people think about me than most people do. And I think that's also part of what makes me uncomfortable to be around. But I love my family very much, and I love my friends. But I trust Spirit. The moment has unfolded, and here I am, and now I am, as I've always been. And I see where the rock moves to next because, believe it or not, I'm the one who dropped the rock that entered this vessel into the world in the first place. I know what Spirit's doing with me. My job is simple. Let go, stand out of the way, and let the universe express itself for Christ's sake. I look forward to showing you my camp, my car, my morning routine in the next video, the types of foods that I eat. I'm going to talk more about, all kinds of things that I wouldn't say in a normal video. And I look forward to connecting with those of you who resonate with that. I do want to make it clear how appreciative and grateful I am for everybody that's a channel member and patron on Patreon for supporting this. As I've already said, I do want everybody to understand clearly that being a channel member or patron on Patreon does not mean that I'm constantly around to respond to messages. And I'm not trying to be a dick about this. I just want to be clear so nobody's feelings are hurt. I love you guys, and I am with you present always, and I feel you with me. We're communicating telepathically. We're creating these videos together. There's no separation between us. My life is a lot about presence and being here and letting the lightning strike in these videos. If you knew that I got probably at least 100 messages a day across my emails and different platforms and stuff, you'd understand I don't have time to look at messages, and it's not what I'm here to do. It doesn't mean that I don't care about you. It doesn't mean that I don't feel you or respect you or honor that you may have something awesome that you want to share with me. I value that deeply. I just don't do messages, okay? So I just want everybody to know that. It's not because I disrespect you. It's because I respect and honor my true path. And there's just too many messages that I get. There's no way to sort through them. There is no way. And I don't have an assistant anymore. Once things start financially flowing for me, if that's the universe's plan, as it is, You know, I'll get an assistant and I'll start getting more organized, but for now, there's no one here to organize anything. I'm just the moment expressing itself, integrating, releasing, shifting, healing, whatever. People use different words. I'm here, and I'm grateful to connect with you, and I do see you, and I do appreciate you. So thanks. Much love to everybody. You guys are awesome. And I look forward to seeing you in the next vlog next week. See you there.